Good day, class.
Good day, teacher.
Okay. How are you today?
Okay.
Alright. We're just going to start our class by using this little scenario to come up with our topic for the day, right? Okay. How many can you read the scenario, please?
Mr. Brown has a bakery and he needs to determine how much can be made for this year. What measure can be taken to determine this cost?
Alright, so Mr. Brown has his bakery and he wants to determine how much he'll make for the year. So now the question is to you, what is he going to use to determine this? Any idea? Everybody blank? Give it a try.
Thinking, Mr. Thinking.
Think fast.
Some form of formula based on that.
Formula?
Yes, not sure.
What kind of formula?
The amount of something that will work allow to know the amount or the amount as to what exactly. Like I said, the question says bakery. So I'm thinking production.
How much good you can sell, how much it costs.
Right.
Minus how much.
Based on production.
Also, it's based on his production.
And
That's what you're saying. And the time period.
Yes.
Alright.
So
Anybody?
I would say how much raw materials he used to make his products, his overhead maybe, and then what he sold it for, and then you arrive at the profit.
Alright, so I understand all of that you're saying. So what is he going to do to determine how much product he's going to use?
Budget means the amount that budget.
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 Don't you budget? Don't you all budget when you're going to go and shop for something? Alright, so today we're going to look on standard costing. And standard costing has to do with budgeting. How you determine what your cost will be, right?
Yes.
So, what do you think? What's a standard in the first place? What's a standard?
Standards are benchmarks.
Benchmark.
Or rules that govern costing. That's what I would say. Right?
Margin, mark, or something of that sort.
So you say that a standard is a
Benchmark.
benchmark. What do you mean by it's a benchmark?
Stipulated rules. Guidelines.
I said
Guidelines.
rules. Rules that govern costing.
And you said that there are rules that govern
Costing.
costing. Okay. Anything else? I'm going to take it that is only Camille and Chef in the class.
I was answering this.
Alright.
Benchmarks. Oh, you say
Expected level of performance. Standard is the expected level of performance.
yeah. It's a
Expected level of performance.
Alright, so now that we know what is a standard, what is standard costing?
Alright. Rules, guidelines, and benchmarks that govern
It's
costing.
through guidelines and benchmarks.
That
It
govern
can be the same.
costing.
It can't be the same thing as standard.
Standard costing.
These
would be-
are guidelines.
Or rules.
Guidelines are rules that are used to determine cost.
Yes.
Cost of what?
Goods.
production.
Or
Production.
services.
Products or
Service.
services.
Yes.
Right. So there are actually techniques used to determine
The actual cost
the
of
actual
goods and
cost of
services.
goods or service.
Produce.
So please write that in your books. Repeat. A standard cost.
Establish.
I don't see anybody taking down in low.
Mrs. Right, yes, all right.
Okay. No.
Miss Odin,
No, there are three main types of standards. I told you to read upon types of standards, so can I get the three different types of standards? Attainable. What are the other two types of standards?
Ideal
Ideal standard
and basic standard.
and basic standard. Right? Now, we are going to go into pairs. One group will have 3. Work with her. And I'm going to assign each of the standards, and they are going to discuss it in a group, and I'm going to call one person from the group. So you don't know who's going to talk from the group. So ensure that everybody in the group knows. Right? I need to see the groups. I need to see the pairs. Right? So this group is going to get attainable. This group is going to get ideal, and the group at the back will get basic standard. They are going to come up with what it is. What is basic standard? You're going to come up with what is attainable standard and what is ideal standard. And I'm going to call on one person from the group, and I'm not telling you who I'm going to call.
look to this the fourth line.
It's operation under ideal circumstances where everything
Ready?
Yes, it's ready.
Which group is going first?
Basic.
Attainable.
Basic is come basic, partially. Come and write definition. And explain to us and tell us what is basic standard. Explain to the class what is basic standard. Explain to us. These are long-term standards which
would remain unchanged over the years.
over the years or over a period of time.
Over the years, these are
It
long-term
can be
standards
changes.
which will remain unchanged over the years. Such as the material crimes, labor rates, and efficiency, and the effort of the changing method. So it don't change. That's what
So when the materials change over time based on the current market situation.
it's something. It's a no. Image? Is that the information for the basic standard will not be used to highlight current efficiency or inefficiency, and it would normally form the background part of the report.
Alright. Ideal. Are you ideal? You want Simone is ideal. Thinking. Explain to us what is ideal standard.
First, our writers.
Whichever one you want to do first.
Okay, ideal standard, as I write here, is based on the best possible operating condition. Assuming that the business will have no breakdown, you have to set, management want to set standards to say that we set our standard based on the ideal conditions where nothing will go wrong. There will be no wastage of material. But this ideal setting of standard is not a good one because it's not practical to have an ideal. There's oftentimes something will go wrong. Some machine will break down, somebody will be absent. So it's not realistic setting ideal standard in the production process. Right?
Okay, good. And the final attainable.
The attainable one. This now is realistic.
Alright. For attainable, this one is, I would say, the best one to use because it is more realistic.
Why is it more realistic?
Because it is current. It is the current.
Current what?
Attainable, it has to be with the current condition. Just in case that something might happen, we have planned before, just in case something might happen. So it is basically the opposite of the ideal. For the ideal, no, the ideal looks on the best possible operating conditions. That is no breakdown, no material, no wastage. For this one now, you're gonna have machine breaking down. You're gonna have a little thing, material being wasting, and stuff like that. So therefore, we plan for this one. So I would say this one is the most, or the best one to use per se.
So basically,
Say what you were saying, Camille.
as I was saying before, I was roughly interrupted. If I was asking if the basic difference between both of them is that one, the ideal of the ideal one is a bit on a basis where it is the budget based on the fact that they're hoping that none of them breaks down. And then for machines, for example, but the attainable, they know that they're going to break down at some point, so they plan for it.
Alright.
Yeah, basically
So
planning
the
for any incur
Just in case something happens.
Because in reality, it's going to happen.
It is going to happen.
With the ideal standard, basically what you're saying that it's a mentality, it's a perfect mentality. There is nothing that is going to go wrong.
which is impossible.
It is impossible. I have current machine can break down.
Apparently, it's just that they don't even try to destroy the defense.
So means all the basic comes into that, because I understand the attainable and the ideal, but the basic now is just basically giving you a long term over the period. I understand.
Well, I would say that it is standard, which it doesn't change over a period of time.
It's consideration.
So like mandatory setting.
It's just like your
Yeah,
length,
standard.
yes,
Procedure. Or one standard.
Hello. What's the crossword?
Alright, so this was just an introduction to the types of standards. So I wanted to go home. Camille, please stop talking. You're going to go home and do further reading on the types of standards.
Are there any more type, or these are just the three
These
main?
are the three main types of standards.
Also, there are more.
We're going to move on to what is called variance. And again, I told him to read up on this topic. So from coming here, I'm out the locker. So we're going to move on to what is called variance analysis. Right? Now when you hear the word variance, what comes to mind? Changing. Difference. So somebody says changing. Unique. Difference. What else? What comes to mind when you hear the word variance?
Just those there.
Alright, when we were just beginning the class, right? What did we say the scenario about Mr. Brown and his bakery?
You wanted to find out how much you
And how did we say you could find out how much
you could measure? What he could do to measure how much better that? Standard cost.
Standard cost.
And creating the budget.
creating the budget. So we make a budget to make an estimate of how much we think we are going to
Spend.
What is this spend?
How much you
How
want?
much you're gonna make?
How much you're going to make, how much the product is going to cost at that particular time. Right? So it's basically the difference between the budgeted or the what we said was the standard cost. Are you listening, guys?
Yes, miss.
Alright, so variance has to do with the difference between the budgeted cost and the actual cost.
What do you mean by actual?
Meaning how much you actually
Spend.
spend.
At the final.
Right. And then, now that we know that, when we hear analysis, which word comes out? Analyze. And when we analyze something, what do we do?
Breakdown.
Break down what?
The cost.
The cost to do what?
Come with the actual.
Break down the cost of the product, like the material.
Determine the cost of each product or service.
So you analyze to determine the cost of each product, right?
Go.
What do you think variance analysis has to do with?
The breaking down of cost between the standard cost and the actual cost.
The breaking down of between the standard cost and the budgeted cost and the actual cost, right? And then what the analysis? That is it?
Yes, miss.
The
Basically.
evaluation of the performance by means of
So the variance analysis has to do with the performance. You're basically seeing if what you actually predicted it was favorable or not, right?
Yes. Makes sense, yes, yes.
So we're going to work some examples now. Now first, we need to know the types of variances. And there are
Many times.
There are many types. But we're going to look on the three main ones. Right? And from reading, what are the three main types of variance?
material.
Material, because we need material to make the product, right? What else?
Direct labor.
Or labor, direct labor.
And the overhead.
And you need the overhead.
We look for overheads.
Right? So, there are different formulas to calculate different types of variance, right? So I'm going to put the formula and we're going to work some questions, right?
That's what you mean by this. I don't understand what is material variance.
You were supposed to read on it, so you tell me what is material variance.
What is material variance?
Yes.
Okay. What I was reading was that in order to say make the bread, you needed the flour, the sugar, all those material. So in the baker, the owner of the business would have made that projection, that forecast, that budget of the amount of material that he would need, how much flour and how much sugar that he will need in order to produce the goods. But then when the actual goods was produced, it might have been less or more used than what he had projected.
Alright, first thing first, when we started out, we said that variance has to do with the difference between the budgeted cost and the actual cost. So if these are the different types of variance, don't you think that material variance has to do with the actual cost that was budgeted for the material? The difference between the cost that was budgeted and the actual cost?
Yes.
Right?
You might budget $1,000 starting, let's say,
And it costs
to buy flour. And when you go, it actually costs
more. Or it can cost
Or it
less.
can cost less based on some other factors that will determine the cost of the material.
Alright.
So when it costs less, the actual cost is less, then you can say it's favorable. While if it costs more, it's
Unfavorable.
right, which is adverse.
Now tell me the formulas that you got.
Which we didn't stumble across in the reading.
Because you didn't do any reading as far as I can see. So we said it was the difference between the
Budgeted and the actual.
And the actual.
Come, I need you to look in. Where are the textbooks? Take out the books and give me the formula, please.
Alright, miss, we're looking for it.
You're not reading, no, guys. You're not reading at all.
Material variance, variance.
Actual material use.
It is the actual material used.
Yeah.
Minus
Actual
the
production
standard.
and
Actual material used. You're not reading, guys. And that's very bad. Now, if you were reading, you would realize that on the material you can test the quality and what else?
the efficiency.
And the price.
I was right.
Yeah. Where's the duster? Okay. So there are actually two formulas for material price variance. One where you find the quality variance, the material quality variance, and you find the material price variance. Right? So the first one is the material price variance.
Actual quantity of the material to standard price.
So it's the actual quantity
Times actual price.
Of the standard price. Actual quantity of material price.
quantity times the
standard price
The standard price
minus the actual cost of the material.
minus the
Actual cost of the material purchased.
the actual cost.
The actual purchase cost.
And what is the material quantity variance formula? It is the standard quantity
minus the actual
Times standard price.
times what?
Standard
the
price.
standard price.
You think it's the standard price?
Standard quantity, standard
Is it
price.
time should be there in the first place?
Actual cost.
The actual cost? Or is the actual quantity?
Quantity.
In terms of standard price. In terms of standard price.
Times it by the standard price.
Or reverse.
Look on the board. I think there's an error up there.
Where from?
Material price variance. Look on that equation. Do you think it's the actual quantity B that we're doing the price variance, or is it the actual price?
The actual quantity of material purchased.
Are you sure?
Just based on what I see.
Do you think?
I'll go with price.
Remember, I said it's the difference. Difference is multiplied, or is it?
Minus.
So, in that we're talking about the price, right? Don't you think this would be the actual price? Minus the standard price times the actual quantity.
Oh, yes, because you just said.
So, when we're doing the labor variance, we're just writing the formula and then we're going to work some examples, right? Now, under the direct labor, one, we have to analyze the rate and we have to analyze how efficiency, right? So when we measure how efficient they work, we're analyzing them, right? And then we have our overhead as usual. On the overhead, what do you think we would analyze?
Direct labor cost.
We have our
The activity level.
our spending, and we also have efficiency under the overhead, right? I'm going to give you the formulas quickly, and then we work some examples so you can better understand what you are doing. So, quantity variance. Now we need our labor rate variance the standard price. So we are going to call standard price SP, actual price AP, right? Actual quantity, standard quantity. Good?
Yes.
So labor rate variance, this is the formula. The standard price minus the actual price times the actual quantity. Good? Or labor efficiency variance. Or labor efficiency variance is equal to our standard quantity minus our, what do you think we minus from our standard quantity?
Actual quantity.
Or actual quantity times what?
SP.
Our standard price?
SP.
Standard price. Good. Are we missing anything or overhead? You write out this already? Dismiss. Okay. So I can erase right here. Our overhead spending variance is equal to our actual, is our actual overhead and our variable overhead. Actual variable overhead our overhead actual rate. What? Yeah? You understand? We have to shorten it because I don't have enough word space. This is actual labor. So you know what AL means, actual labor times variable overhead, actual rate. Overhead efficiency is our actual labor minus variable overhead actual rate minus
Let's write these off.
yeah. you were supposed to get. Can you please take out the worksheet? And get into groups of 3, please. We're going to work questions. Get into groups of 3, and we're going to work it. Well, you are going to go on the board and work it. There's the marker. Question 1 on the worksheet. So get into groups of 3 quickly. Well, what group will have? Up like that.
What you get? You get 6,750. 750. That's the difference.
Of the first one, actually.
Class, I'll be back.
Labor efficiency and variance. What that Chem say it out for me do? What the format the labor?
SU minus AP times SP.
We get to rise.
Which one? Material price?
Yeah. Material prices, 9,600.
Yeah, we get that.
You get the usage.
We get the share of usage. Usage of 9,600.
times 96,000.
No, the usage price, the material usage is 17,550.
Material usage variance.
Yeah. Miss. Miss, we're not sure if I'm getting this right. What is this? Custom, right? The fixed product.
And around the surface.
Directly. Yeah. Are you supposed to multiply the 850 times the standard rate where you get? For the direct labor hours.
Remember, all you're doing is just plugging in the formula, right? The amount. Yeah. So that means it's right then. Yeah. Tell you so you're right here, so you fall off. We should have actually multiplied it is 850 times the amount. So you take it and just okay. You have 2 minutes to go. Yeah, and then you do it by that.
So I want to do the first one.
Alright.
Miss, we finish.
You're going to work.
Can go ahead.
one family group is group 2. So somebody from group 1.
Write it out just as I'm sure.
Which one are you doing, Shanisha? Materials, price, materials.
You're a teacher, that's sure.
Which one are you doing?
It's the one that you asked me to do.
Material.
Yeah. First one. Material price. This is the material price, and this is the actual usage. Condition variance. Yeah. Alright. The actual produced is 25,500, right? Everybody have one like this, supposed to.
Yes.
So the actual produced is 25,500. And the SQM,
What's the SQM? I want to know.
standard quantity measured also. Let me check my book. Sorry. Is $3.50, yes.
So,
Standard quantity of material. Right? Right, miss?
how do you know that you're supposed to times the 3.5 times the 25,500?
Miss, you want to find out the material used per
I want to find the actual.
the actual quantity that is used. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Show you the actual quantity you want to find?
This, what am I supposed
What
to
is the
find?
actual
I want
quantity?
to find the usage. Actual quantity.
How much is the actual Are you finding the actual quantity?
No.
What are you finding? Right.
The price?
Don't you need, that's why I say I must use the formula, which is the standard, standard quantity minus the actual quantity.
Standard quantity.
You're doing material quantity variance, and the formula is standard quantity minus actual quantity times the standard price. So what is the standard? You're trying to find the standard quantity, right? And what is the standard quantity?
The 96,000.
Look on the paper.
Actual quantity?
The standard quantity.
3.5.
They said 3.5 feet per unit. So that is not the standard.
At 260 per foot.
So to find the standard quantity, you therefore have to times the amount of units that were produced by the standard, the unit then. As they say 3.5 foot per unit. Then that can be the actual quantity. They're going to times the 3.5 by the 25,500. And that was what we're doing, Shimisha. That's why I'm just asking why they are doing that.
Wow.
This is so like a mix in there over.
That way I can contradict me for.
Jesus. Excuse me, Shimisha.
Miss, no, shot. Darling, we have tried, we have contradict, you have mixed me up. So, sorry, miss. You can't have that no. Alright then. So, miss, you're basically saying that, the material that is used per unit is 3.5. And what I'm supposed to find out is, let me see, right, 3.5 up here, so right.
So
Oh,
you're actually finding the standard quantity, which is times the amount that was produced by that unit, that 3.5 foot per unit. You're going to times it by the actual unit that was produced to get the standard quantity.
Oh, okay. Alright, so class, do I need to continue or you understand what I understand?
Was it a favorable variance?
It was a favorable.
It was, because it is less.
Because it was less than.
It was less than the estimated RDA. So it would be favorable.
Budgeted amount.
Yeah.
It's gonna favor.
Alright?
Alright.
Is it right?
Yes.
Alright. Geraldine, don't play with me.
Beside the figures.
Beside what?
The figures, the ending figure.
This one right here?
Yes. The 17 to 550. In bracket, you're going to put if it is adverse or if it is favorable.
Oh.
Always put it.
And as we say, it is favorable.
You can just put A for adverse or F for favorable.
Favorable. Oh. And
So the 17
1,550.
was what? Was it adverse or was it favorable?
It was favorable, miss, because it is less than the predicted amount. The budgeted amount.
Or is the other way around?
It is adverse. Adverse?
The 17 is in brackets.
Oh, it's a minus figure.
Yes.
Oh, correction. Point of correction, class. This is a minus figure, sorry.
You don't have
Negative.
in the bracket, you know.
So it is adverse. Alright?
Can rub off that side with the formula. State what's your class? Is she correct? Labor rate. What is the formula to find the labor rate?
Standard price minus the actual price.
Put that in a bucket and put the $8.50 minus the $8.35 in bracket.
Standard price.
So was it favorable or was it adverse? Was it favorable?
Then now we're putting
Alright, so question 2 on the you're now going to do question 2 on the worksheet, and that will be graded